Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of TechRise. Today is an exciting one because it's another $50,000 prize as we focus on FinTech founders from Chicago's Black and Latinx population. And we are so grateful to our amazing guest host and sponsor, Discover. So you'll get to meet everyone from that team soon. But in the meantime, I just want to remind everyone that we still have applications open both for the end of this year and next year. So please go to techrise.co to apply. You can do idea stage, seed stage, and now we have so many amazing themes coming through the end of this year and into next year. So if you are, a fintech founder that didn't make it on today, come back. We have sustainability coming up. We have IoT. We have health tech, sports tech, beauty and wellness, kids, so many great themes. So please come and take a look. And then, of course, if you are a sponsor or interested in promoting or supporting TechRise, you can go anytime to techrise.co/donate, and you can learn more about that. All right, so with that, I'm so excited to invite our team of judges today. First, we have Jonathan Jackson, who works in global procurement at Discover Financial Services. Jonathan brings nearly 20 years of experience leading people, processes, and cost reduction efforts across a variety of industries. In his current role at Discover, he leads procurement related to professional services, where he guides leaders through a process of decision optimization and risk mitigation. So great to have you, Jonathan. Next, we have William. You want to go by Bill, right? Lorzal. He's principal.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, great. And system analyst at Discover Financial Services. He's had an incredibly diverse career, starting with his desire to be a fireman and going deeper into computer work in higher ed. He joined Discover over 13 years ago and has taken on multiple roles within the organization throughout the years. We're thrilled to have you here too. And our final judge is Mario Avila, founding director of the Turner Family Center for Social Ventures at Vanderbilt University. The Turner Family Center is an interdisciplinary student-led organization committed to developing socially and environmentally conscious, I'm struggling today, sorry, leaders and doers. Mario leads the efforts to prepare students to drive systemic, impactful change through market-driven forces and enterprise. So thank you all so much for being here, and we'll see you back in a few minutes when you're ready to ask some questions. All right, and now we are ready to get started. And first we have Boum III Jr. presenting daba.
Hello, everybody, and I'm about to share my screen now.
I'll let you know when we can see it. Looks like you're good to go.
All right, thank you. I'm Boum, and I'm here to present daba, a financial application whose mission is to power the next generation of business in Africa by changing the way that the world invests in Africa. Africa is the future, one of the biggest opportunities of our lifetime. With a rapidly growing population and the youngest population on Earth, Africa represents a massively untapped financial and economic opportunity. Unfortunately, that opportunity remains unrealized because of the perception of risk and the inadequate financial infrastructure to drive money into these markets efficiently. Hence, the solution, daba. We are building Africa's premier investing and trading platform, a simple application that allows everyday investors to find, invest, trade high quality, vetted African opportunities that they believe in. Simply put, we are defining a completely new investment category. In the same way that Robinhood democratized access to public equities to Gen Zs and millennials, and Coinbase made it easy for the average retail US investor to invest in cryptocurrencies, we are democratizing access to investing in Africa by providing our users an ecosystem of financial products that allows them to access the African private and public capital markets in all confidence. Building wealth is all about who you know, and what you have access to. By merging social connection, intelligence, and top-tier opportunities, daba will become the de facto investment platform for users looking to get exposure to this emerging and rapidly growing market. In our first iteration, will be a mobile-first application. For our investors, we allow them to find and discover investment opportunities. They get access to an interest-driven information and activity feed, as well as learn both actively and passively through content, intelligence, and groups. For entrepreneurs and companies, we help them streamline their capital raising process, as well as get exposure and build community through our platform. Simply put, daba solves trust, confidence, and access. We solve trust by allowing communities to grow on our platform, confidence by having a diligent process, by having and also having end-to-end regulatory compliance with the governing financial bodies, as well as access through executing the right first product, which for us is equity investing in pre-IPO African tech companies. Here's our business model. Simply put, we get 6 to 8% on the transaction fee on the amount raised, charged to the companies, as well on a case-by-case basis, 2% on equity into these companies raising on our platform. On the investor side, we earn interest on deposits for any net account balance deposited on our platform, as well as in the second year of operation, we'll kickstart a subscription product very similar to what other brokerages do, with specific intelligence and more intelligence to help investors make better, more informed investment decisions. In terms of our market size, quite honestly, it's very large. Strategically, we're starting by targeting the African diaspora and the African American community within the US and across other geographies, because they have a strong social connection to the African continent, and they are willing to invest into this continent, but today do not have the access. Broadly speaking, anybody that wants to get access to investing in Africa can invest on daba. In the US specifically, there are about 2.3 million African Americans, African diaspora that today have a $45 billion spending power. And they're already remedying close to $5 billion to Africa, and we want to become the platform through which they invest into the African market. On the flip side of things, the capital funding opportunity is at least $1 trillion. When you consider the private markets and the public markets combined. We are targeting the private markets, and that is about $2.5 billion in the first go round.
I'm going to have you cover the rest of it in the Q&A because we're at 4 minutes. So judges, you can come on to ask some questions. Go ahead and turn off your presenter mode. Bill, you want to start?
Sorry.
Not yet. No, thanks.
Okay, Jonathan, can you start?
Yeah, I'm wondering, Boum, thanks for that introduction on your company. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you evaluate the companies that you're offering the investments in?
Yes, so we are sourcing opportunities first in the private markets by partnering with notable investors and VC firms that already have a track record of investing in Africa. So we either co-invest with them in the current rounds that they're going into, or act as follow-on capital for companies that have already raised some amount of money from notable investors. We also source from accelerators that have a track record of graduating successful African companies. That is a model that's shown to work well. And that de-risks the opportunity for the retail investors that invest to our platform.
Maria, you want to go next?
Yeah, it was follow on to that. That was my question really around kind of the investment side and the risk from a legal perspective investing in a company in Africa.
Yeah, so from a legal perspective, actually, we are a US registered broker, dealer, and investment advisor. So we hold the same licenses like any brokerage here in the US would do, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Robinhood, Coinbase. That allows us to actually do the offer and sale of both registered and unregistered securities to an unaccredited and unsophisticated audience. So, and the reason why that works is because the majority of the companies, African companies that actually raise capital, majority of them are US-based companies. Yep. So they have a US parent that wholly owns an African subsidiary. So we work the same regulatory framework that other brokerages do.
Thanks.
Bill, are you ready for a question?
I am. I have just one. Because technology is a lot of my background, and cybersecurity and info security, what kind of controls do you have in place to protect your customer data from prying eyes and making sure that the platform is stable and there won't be any issues with our customers finding their names in the news?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, I mean, that goes into the technology that we're building, has to be very safe and secure. We are following best-in-class cybersecurity protocols, and currently, as we're building the platform is currently under development. And also in terms of like the data we will be using, especially for KYC, AML, and all these different types of things, using verified partners that already have a track record and history of doing that for many years.
So you're not reinventing the wheel for this?
No. Really, the innovation here is how it's the access, the infrastructure into the market, and bringing these opportunities and opening that up.
Great. Thank you so much.
You have a couple more seconds if you want to cover anything you weren't able to finish in the deck.
Yeah, thank you very much. So just wanted to mention that we've been chanced enough to work with Morrison Foster as a legal partner. They're taking care of our end-to-end regulatory process and on a pro bono basis. They've really bought into our mission. And most importantly, this is a mission-driven organization. This came about from us working on Africa Startup Lab, which was a nonprofit, and we realized that there was a huge mismatch between the African opportunity and the capital that was going in there. So this financial technology platform is really mission-driven.
Great, wonderful job, Boum. Thanks so much. And thank you, judges.
Thank you.
And we'll have you all back on in a few minutes, but next we are going to have IvyNet join us with Yvonne Fitzpatrick. So we can come on when you're ready.
All right, hello everyone. Just gonna queue up here.
We can see you're good to go.
Okay, great. All right, question. Have you ever misplaced your keys just before you needed to leave for a flight or a job interview? I don't know about you, but this was very stressful for me. And so it is when death comes. We know that this is not a likable topic, but finding or losing money is. Lost generational wealth was an $80 billion problem for families in 2019. I'm sorry. And in just 5 short years ago was 58 million. When someone dies without a will or a trust, their assets go to the state, who after a time will liquidate them for their operational needs. Families may never know or have a chance to receive valuable assets that are rightfully theirs and do even greater things with them. But the impact also hits commercial companies such as credit providers. With IvyLocker, you can have assurance of knowing you've shared your most important things with those who are most important to you, so that your legacy lives on. It is never lost. Introducing IvyLocker, the first digital estate management solution with automated notifications. IvyLocker is an end-to-end encrypted suite of 10 lockers. Imagine a row of lockers in high school. It's as simple as putting something in a locker and giving someone the code so they can borrow your books after class. In this next slide, this is the solution and how it works. The estate tool is connected to our intellectual property, which transmits and sends this information to our commercial partner network, which includes insurance providers, followed by the fact that they can also provide it to their policyholders if they so choose, but we provide notifications to attorneys, agents, insurance companies, pension contacts, and so much more. The outcome of this is process improvement, which definitely benefits families at large and beneficiaries as well. Using trusted data, we put the value of unclaimed assets and life insurance at more than $1.6 trillion. Our go-to-market status. We have a working minimum viable product. We have monthly recurring customers. We have sent 4 proposals to the really large church communities. And we have 5 strong insurance connections for marketing and policy issuance. Our competitive circles, various surrounding aspects of this space, our competition, but our solution is the only one with a patented approach for the convenient handling of death certificates. Revenue projections are conservative but increase each year after. With funding from TechRise, for example, we will upgrade our server, scale our platform for more customers. Hello, I'm Yvonne Fitzpatrick, founder and inventor and CEO of IvyLocker and the Integrated Vital Information Exchange Hub. The collective experience of IvyNet's team spans more than 100 years in business, IT, insurance, financial, claim systems, marketing, process change, and architecture. How will the world look when Ivy wins? 1, through a maximum encrypted highway of mortality data, being able to execute and send through Ivy Hub and connecting to a commercial partner network, meaning at the end of the result of this is no more mailing of death certificates for families. Our future will look like partnering with Integrity Marketing, which has 375,000 independent agents and 9 million clients for driving cross sales through an agent network. We are and will be the first commercial mortality impacting medical research and mortality standards. Furthermore, our Ivy Protect program is a credit protection program for commercial companies. My future world is one where no family unknowingly threw their legacy away. Thank you.
Sorry, you can take your presentation mode off and we'll welcome the judges on for some questions.
Actually, I think I'm ready early this time.
Oh, great. You want to go video on?
Just a moment. I'll do that. Okay. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Yvonne. I have one question around the topic of electronic documents and so on. I know of at least one major insurance company that does not accept digitally signed documents. How are you handling acceptance of digital media where a lot of times paper is still the preferred format and medium?
Well, I understand that this is, and it always has been an issue for me. I mean, I've been working at this for over 20 years. So, and I'm an IT professional. For those insurance providers who are still in the paper mode, at some point they will have to transition into more of the what we know as the standards of today. People like convenience. You know, there's thousands of insurance companies right now who are issuing e-policies, meaning you never even receive the paper. And while that's good, it's also bad because your family may not even know that you had an e-policy assigned. They'd have to read your email and know. And how are they going to do that? I know for my kids, I got 90,000 pieces of email. They're not going to go through my email. So it's, you know, there's a trend, and we feel that as more companies engage the more digital path, it will help other insurance providers. I mean, there's over 17,000 providers. And so, yes, you're always going to have some who are going to be slower to, you know, get on the bandwagon, but you're going to have others. And I think that the community at large will also help drive the adoption.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Jonathan, you want to go next?
Yeah, Yvonne, I'm wondering, you know, wills and things like that are always changing, and the intention of the person is, you know, sometimes I want to remove this person or whatever. So I'm wondering kind of operationally, how does that stuff stay up to date, as well as, you know, unfortunately, if I were to remove somebody from my will, you know, did they already have access to some of the electronic documents or policy information? I'm just wondering if you can talk about that a little.
Sure. So a member who joins Ivy Locker receives an annual compliance reminder to update, revalidate their information as current and correct. In the legal locker is where you would upload a copy of your most current will or your trust document or your health directive documents, anything in your legal family. We do provide a connection to, for example, Law Depot and other providers if you don't have a will. But our tool is not designed or intended to write the wills. We provide the service so that you can upload a current copy of your will. And so it's really still the onus of that still falls upon the consumer, right, to keep their will current.
I'm going to interrupt real quick so Mario can ask a question.
Great job, Yvonne. So my question is really around the revenue pie. Where do you see as your number one revenue source?
Oh my goodness. I think our number one revenue source will be our licensed partner network. Okay. As you think of ATM transaction fees, so it will flow when we start transmitting death certificates.
Thank you.
Wonderful job. Thank you so much, Yvonne.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we're going to bring Robert on from KickPredict.
Meet James. James is.
Are you presenting or no?
Yes.
Oh, we're not seeing it yet. So.
Oh, hang on.
We're doing great on time, so don't stress. We're good.
Yeah, I have a little time built in, so we're good. But thanks for that. All right.
All right, you're good to go.
All right. Meet James. James is a modern day sneaker reseller. James spends his days doing things like acquiring inventory, dealing with logistics, traveling to meetups, and then also managing prospective customers. There are only two major differences between James and other modern day commodity speculators. One, James has to hold and receive and manage inventory physically. And two, they are people like James that are reselling sneakers are lagging in terms of the technology that they have at their disposal. So the main problem is sneaker resellers today have to manage physical inventory of the commodity that they're trading, which happens to be sneakers. In addition to physically having to receive and manage their inventory, there are issues like replicas in the market. There's a lot of fakes. There's safety concerns. Some meetups can be dangerous. There's a large capital requirement in order to fund working capital and things like that. Sometimes you need a plug in order to source your inventory, and there are excessive fees on the traditional platforms where sneaker resellers tend to transact. The solution is KickPredict. We're a binary options platform where our users go long or short on future aftermarket sneaker prices on StockX. We're the first hands-free platform where our users can literally turn their sneaker knowledge into cash. How does it work? It's simple. First, users register. Second, the user purchases a long or short position against the strike price that we set. And then either the user wins or loses at expiry. There's same-day payouts. Winners earn an 80% return, which is incredibly higher than what they receive using the traditional or the existing resale channels at their disposal. And at the end, we take a 10% fee. The revenue model, as I kind of alluded to earlier, it's very simple. Our system matches the long positions against short positions. We take a 10% fee, and the successful traders or successful positions walk away with an 80% return. These are just some user success stories on our Discord channel. Our users started screenshotting their daily wins and then sharing it with the community. The market size as of 2019, according to Yahoo Finance, the global sneaker resale market was about 2 billion. It's expected to exceed 30 billion by 2025. Domestically in the US alone, it's expected to exceed 6 billion by 2025. We have users in 9 different countries. Don't ask me how they found us. I think it's just social media. But here's some data on how we're doing. We are post revenue. We do about $1,500 a month or MRR. This has widely been word of mouth. We haven't spent much of anything in regards to ads, but our go-to market strategy, if you were to ask me, I would say it's Facebook and Instagram ads because that's where our users live. Competition, the traditional online marketplaces you might have heard of, places like StockX, Gold, et cetera, the brick and mortar resale shops like Flight Club, Riff LA, and so on and so forth, as well as the other skilled gaming and alternative investment platforms like Versus Game, Collectible, et cetera. Here's some milestones. We're a little less than a year old, but again, we've made it to post revenue. And then why now? The advances in fintech, as well as the proliferation of social media and social networks, as well as the regulatory pressures being eased on spaces like this, make it the ideal time for KickPredict. And in the future, we see us being a conduit to introduce a lot more liquidity and velocity into the sneaker resale market. That's my time, I believe.
It is. Yes, I'm going to invite the judges on and you can stop presenting and we'll get some questions. Maria, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So, 2 things. One is can you talk a little bit more about kind of the interaction between buyer seller and what that looks like in the platform?
Sure. So again, neither us nor our users ever touch sneakers. It's the same way commodities traders on Wall Street don't ever touch crude oil or what they're trading. So we simply just match long and short positions against each other.
Okay.
Jonathan?
Yeah, that was actually really helpful because my question was going to be, my son has used StockX and things and the verification, so I wasn't sure how that was working. But I'm just wondering when you think about, it sounded like you said you're not totally sure how people are finding you. Could you talk a little bit more about how you intend to find people?
Sure. Our users live on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, sneaker groups here and there. We've tested, when I say it's mostly word of mouth, I've probably spent over the last year less than $2,000 in ads. We know where to target people. It's just we haven't had to target people thus far, but that's our plan with part of these funds, is to then, invest into social media marketing.
Okay, Bill, that's next to you.
So I'll admit, Robert, I'm a little unfamiliar with the whole concept of sneaker trading and reselling and all that. I guess the only question I have, and again, this is from a complete position of ignorance based on my own ignorance, is I didn't even know this was a thing, but how do we handle this in today's age of requirements of hygiene, where we're trying to keep everything clean so people aren't getting sick? And I apologize, it's kind of a weird question, but it's only because I know nothing about the industry.
No, fair question. So again, imagine a traditional Wall Street commodity speculator trading crude oil. They never touch it because, by definition, a speculator, I'm buying something simply to resell it. There's no point to ever take physical possession. We're bringing that same model to the sneaker world. Sneakers they're a commodity. They just are sneakers. And so literally ourselves nor our users ever touch sneakers. You're literally just speculating on where you think the aftermarket price is going to move on StockX.
Got it. Okay. Thanks for that explanation. Appreciate it.
Sure.
We have time for one more. Madia, do you have one more?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thanks, Robert.
Yeah, Robert, thanks a lot. Great job. All right. And so next we have Onebit. We have Omar Hernandez joining us. Great to see you again. All right, looks like you're good to go.
Hi, everyone. We're Onebit, and we help small businesses make smarter financial decisions. Independent business owners make hundreds of decisions a day. They have to decide on how much inventory to buy, when to staff employees, how to set prices, and many, many more. Oftentimes, many of these decisions are made by intuition or gut feeling. Some of these decisions are sometimes ineffective and cost small businesses money. According to SCORE, a leading nonprofit organization, only 45% of business owners said they actively use data to help them with managing their business. What if there was a simple way that we could help small businesses use the data that they already have towards making better financial decisions? At Onebit, we believe that insights lead to action. We help small business owners by providing them with a real-time dashboard that connects all their financial data in one place. Onebit is able to analyze this financial data using a machine learning algorithm to generate unique insights and recommendations. These insights can help small business owners make better decisions for the future. For example, Onebit can identify whenever a business owner is spending a high amount on any particular category, like inventory. Since the business owner has a direct impact on the inventory cost, Onebit can send a notification along with a recommended action to help the business owner make a better informed decision. Onebit can also track vendor costs over time and automatically alert the business owner if their cost increases. Our application then immediately recommends price adjustments to make sure the business remains profitable. Onebit works by simply allowing the business owner to connect their POS system with their business bank account and credit cards. We then aggregate all the financial data and run the calculations to provide insights. Think of us like an automated financial advisor for small businesses. Onebit will operate as a SaaS business model with 3 tiers: basic, medium, and premium. Our target market are independent businesses in the restaurant and retail industries. In the US alone, there are over 600,000 independent restaurant and retail businesses. Our customer acquisition strategy will include cold calling local businesses and using digital marketing like SEO and PPC. Lastly, we'll leverage our partnerships with POS system providers and nonprofit trade groups. Over the past year, Onebit has been working with a handful of local businesses. These restaurants have shared their financial data with our team to help us develop a working prototype. Based on our research, there are very few competitors in the current market. There are other BI programs, but these tools all require specialized skills in data visualization. Our end-of-year milestones include completing development of our beta version, acquiring 10 active users, and securing our partnership with Square POS. With your help today, we'll get one step closer to reaching these goals. Meet the Onebit team, which includes myself, Omar, a former business owner and current grad student at IIT, Sean, who brings a strong restaurant network from past experience and family, and Ron, with over 14 years of experience in product management. Lastly, our team of advisors, which includes Miriam Saleh, Executive Director at the Kaplan Institute, Matt Doubleday, CMO of Wintrust Financial, and Michael Lee, Senior Engineer at IIT. Onebit helps independent business owners make smarter financial decisions by providing them with a clear picture into their business finances. Choose Onebit today and help us empower and save small businesses tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, the judges can come on for some questions.
Great. Good job, Omar. Hey, so 2 quick questions. One is, I didn't see any QuickBooks integration. And then the other is around, are you gonna focus on any particular sector of businesses?
So we're particularly focusing on the retail and restaurant industries. We felt that over the last year, those were the 2 businesses that were hit the hardest. A lot of them, after we started talking to the business owners in this industry, we found out that there was a lot more problems with their finances. So that's the reason why we developed this application to help them. And then your first question was regarding the QuickBooks integration. So we don't currently have an integration with QuickBooks. We connect directly to the bank accounts and credit cards, so we're able to track the data itself. What we do is we run our own model to categorize the transactions directly. So in the event that a business owner is not using QuickBooks, they can use our program, but we would like to build out a future integration with QuickBooks as well.
Thanks.
Can I go next?
Yeah.
Hey, Omar. So again, I'm going to ask a similar question that I asked somebody else. Security. Where are we on security, compliance, protecting our customers' data?
That's a good question. So we are following all the best practices. We have our team constantly reviewing our security best practices. We sent out a security policy to all of our current employees to make sure that they're following all the proper guidelines. We make sure that we adhere to those and that we're strict in visualizing all of it. And we are completely transparent with what we do with the data. So like the way we connect to the financial institutions right now is with Plaid, and Plaid has a very strict security guideline that we have to meet for our web application.
Quick follow on. Are you falling under the PCI standard, PCI compliance standard with your application?
We are.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
All right, Jonathan.
Yeah, POS systems, they can collect quite a bit of information, and I'm just wondering, it sounds like your solution maybe is more predictive. Is that kind of accurate of how you're kind of helping the business owners?
Yes, exactly. So it's one thing to have the data, but to be able to make decisions for the future. So this tool is more of a planning tool. It's more designed for forecasting to be able to predict future sales and future expenses. So it could give the business owner a better idea whether or not they're going to be profitable within the next time frame.
You actually have a little bit more time. So if you want to cover anything that you didn't cover in the pitch, go for it.
I don't have anything else, but thank you all for giving me the opportunity to present. I appreciate it.
Great work, Omar.
Yeah, wonderful job, Omar.
Thank you.
All right. So next we have Kendra Cole from CryptoMom joining us.
Is my screen clear?
Yep, Mario, do you mind going off video? Yep, we can see it. We're ready when you are.
Great, thank you. Okay, good afternoon. My name is Kendra Cole. While the current typical current cryptocurrency buyer is young, male, and white, studies show that within the next 3 years, more than 10 million crypto-curious first-time US-based women buyers will enter into the industry. So why aren't these women buying now? Well, there's a few reasons. One, a knowledge gap from crypto. So studies show that when women become moms, their number one top stressor is money and future planning. So having that foundational education piece is key to reducing stress and anxiety. Two, it's difficult to see how cryptocurrency applies to a woman's everyday life. So even if she gets Bitcoin, what does she do with it now? And the third is she wants to feel a sense of community and connected to women with other interests. Especially during the pandemic, women really crave that connection, even if it's online. So how do we create a safe space with women and moms in cryptocurrency? Introducing the CryptoMom app, a woman's destination for all things cryptocurrency. Our platform allows her to learn about and then purchase cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, then allocate that Bitcoin to meaningful products, such as a college fund, an emergency fund, or even an adult fund. She can also find other women on their cryptocurrency journey in our in-app community. We are removing the fear and uncertainty around cryptocurrency by being the first platform that is for women, speaking to women, and by a woman. We will be a commission per transaction-based platform. And our go-to market includes engaging our target consumer in online spaces where she already is, such as Facebook mom groups, providing educational content marketing opportunities, and cultivating camaraderie and growth marketing strategies, such as the CryptoMom Ambassador Program. Of the total market of 19 million new crypto buyers, our attention will be on that 10 million first-time women crypto buyers. And then within that group, securing at least 25,000 of these dedicated investors on our platform. And the crypto curious woman is primed for investing. She makes at least 6 figures, and she has some or majority agency over the family money and future financial planning decisions. Upon looking at the current competitive landscape, the fact is that women feel, and they are, an underserved market. None of these competitors address gender disparity within crypto, nor do they account for gender-informed considerations, which the CryptoMom app will do. And while these current products aren't designed to intentionally exclude women, these platforms aren't also intentionally including women either. And that's where the real opportunity lies with the CryptoMom app. And we've seen this in the past. Industries that are male-dominated, yet women become key consumers, bringing brand new company concepts and even changing the trajectories of entire industries. We're currently officially in the prototyping phase. We'll be focusing Q4 on building the technical aspects of the platform, and then we'll activate alpha and beta launching into Q1, activating our PR and marketing with a wide-scale launch in May of 2022. Our growth projection demonstrates a major key to success in our platform, garnering trust, reliability, and confidence to our dedicated following of women investors. So by 2024, we anticipate at least 100,000 users with $10 average revenue per user, equating to more than 12 million in revenue. The contribution from TechRise will be instrumental in activating key technical team members, as well as going from prototype to production. And our team is led by myself and my co-founder, Lord Cole. I have more than 12 years in consumer parenting and tech PR and marketing experience. And my co-founder, Lord, is a PhD, and he's a current CTO of a cryptocurrency firm with more than 8 years in capital market experience. Time and time again, history has shown that when women come together, real change happens, and this is no different. We believe that women is the key to success of the cryptocurrency, and the CryptoMom app is the first step into ushering the next generation of investors and change makers. Thank you.
Great job, Kendra. All right, judges, you can come back on.
Yeah, thanks for your presentation. I had a question around what currencies or exchanges are you going to be working with or have relationships with at this time?
So in my experience, I've worked with over all the major exchanges. So in terms of bridging with OTC, but we're going to be all US based. From a regulatory standpoint, we want to keep it all US regulated. So there's the FTX US, Binance US, which is less. There's Coinbases of the world. So I've worked with all of them, over 25 exchanges globally in the crypto space specifically, and integrated with all of them, as well as the major custody holders as well.
Are you going to go next?
So let's fast forward. What's the outcome, right? So what's the exit? Who buys you?
Who buys us? Well, it could be, well, the thing is, there's a lot in this space. There's everything from the Fidelity's world, and there's late entrance banks that are just trying to hop on, whether it's getting in with women in crypto. There's a lot of different exit angles in terms of who, but a lot of the banks are playing a wait and see across the industry. And you're seeing people step in to purchase, like the BitGos of the world, Visa. So there's a lot of different players. It could be hedge funds that want exposure in the space, but it's a huge market, and not to say like this vapid space, but it's more so there's a huge market, and there's it's like the internet, like who buys the internet? There's just so many different sectors of the market, and in this case, I think banks would be banks or financial institutions that are looking to incorporate crypto and get women on board.
Phil?
Yeah, I guess, Kendra, my question for you is, what's the anticipated time involvement for your customer to actively manage their portfolio? Because, parents can be very short of time, and being a mom is an exceptionally busy job.
Absolutely. So I think one of the key things about our platform is that we want to make it as straightforward and easy as possible. So upon coming onto the platform, when you want to purchase Bitcoin, it's really as simple as selecting the Bitcoin button. You enter in the amount of currency that you'd like to add on, and effectively, your Bitcoin will be available immediately. And at that point, you can decide how you want to allocate that Bitcoin. So, it can be, our goal is to make it as simple and quick as possible. And then as she becomes more comfortable with the platform, she can expand into the education portions. Eventually, as the platform expands, we'll have robo-advisors that will be taking into consideration gender-based considerations. So it also, and I think one of the really key things here is that, this crypto curious woman, she wants to get involved, but she just doesn't have a place to go. And I'm an example of that, and so are my friends. I started out with just kind of like, I don't really know how to do this. I just kind of bought it. And then it really does grow, and your interest grows, and it's so exciting, and it's so much fun. And you want to be more involved, and you want to spend more money. And that's really another goal of ours, is just to increase financial freedom.
And this this started with this started because our nurses for our daughter were being thwarted. They're like, I don't know how to buy on Coinbase. How do I do it? And we're just like, well, it's just like this. And I realized, well, I'm a guy and I've been doing this for a while, so it's easy. So it was literally as simple as, hey, can you show me how to buy Bitcoin on a Coinbase account? And I was like, really? And then started talking to a lot more, like my sister, other people that were kind of crypto curious. And I'm not forming that experience. That's for these women to form it, because
I'm sorry, I have to cut us off, to be fair, but great presentation, guys. Thank you so much. And now the judges are going to do the hard job of deciding who wins. I'm going to say goodbye to them, and we're going to welcome Anna and Jackie on. So Anna Blissick is Senior Marketing Programs and Young Professionals of Discover, and Jackie Wax is the Senior Operations Strategy Analyst of Rewards and also Young Professionals of Discover. So welcome to both of you.
Hello, thanks for having us.
What do you think so far of these companies?
This is awesome. You guys are doing such a great job.
Oh, well, thank you. Thanks so much for being here. So can you tell us a little bit about the work that you both individually do at Discover?
Yeah. So I can go ahead and go first. I am in the network side of Discover, which is a little bit more on the B2B side. I work in global marketing, so I do a lot of merchant-facing marketing campaigns to make sure they're aware of our programs and that they are accepting. So a little bit more, less of the Discover side that you probably all see with the "we treat you like you treat you" and all of that in the commercials, but some of the back end work.
Yeah, and I work on our credit card side on the rewards team. So one of our most popular products is the Discover It 5% card, and I'm actually in charge of running the operations for that, making sure that everyone gets qualified for the correct category. So that's a little bit about us.
I love Discover. I've had a card for a very long time, and it was one of my first cards. And I remember getting a phone call that was like, "You've never missed a payment before. Looks like you missed your payment." And I thought it was so nice. I got a phone call and I didn't get a penalty. So I don't know if you still do that, but you guys should. It's been quite a while since that happened. So I mean, you guys have been a great partner to TechRise so far, and we're so appreciative. And one of the things that I think is so incredibly cool is that, yes, part of the funding for the sponsorship came from Discover as an organization, but also your employee resource groups came together to make this possible. So we'd love to hear more about how your employee resource groups operate over there and the roles that you both play within them.
Yeah, definitely. So at Discover, we have what's called, ERGs, employee resource groups. So these groups just pretty much bring together people from all over the company who share the same interests, race, ethnicities, identities. It's just a great way to meet people at the company who you might not interact with on your normal day-to-day and your normal work, but that you have something in common with. So we have 9 different ERGs. Jackie and I are a part of YPod, which is the Young Professionals of Discover. I manage the networking pillar and Jackie manages the innovation pillar. So our group kind of consists heavily of employees that are a little bit earlier on in their career and maybe just getting started at Discover. But we also have a lot of seasoned leaders who serve as mentors and provide guidance to a lot of our membership. So we host networking events, mentoring programs, even some grad school events and volunteerism, just some other opportunities for continuous improvement. And so I kind of handle the volunteerism and networking, and then Jackie also handles all the innovation events. So yeah, we're just excited to be here. Thanks again for having us.
Well, it seems like from the conversations we've had previously that DEI seems to be a thread that kind of weaves throughout several of the groups. So can you share a little bit more about like how the groups end up collaborating both, I guess, inside and outside of Discover along that DEI thread?
Totally. Yeah. So the thing about the ERGs that I didn't mention before is that they're completely inclusive. So it doesn't matter if you maybe don't identify with that group, you can still join, you can still go to all the events. We definitely encourage cross collaboration across all of our different ERGs. So we utilize our different ERGs as resources. Sometimes we will partner on different events if we think it kind of would be applicable to both groups. We do a lot of cross promoting of each other's events, both internally and externally. We have a lot of opportunities in the pre-COVID world to do a lot of external volunteerism and working with different groups in the community through our ERGs. So typically we'd be cross-promoting those and partnering on those. Right now, we can't be out as much, but hoping to get back into that soon.
Jackie, do you have a favorite event that you guys have done?
We pre-COVID, it was actually really cool. There was a Chicago Innovations Week. So YPod helped us to all go get tickets and attend this really awesome networking or show for Chicago. So that was a really great experience and opportunity pre-COVID.
Yeah. Although I think some of these things are coming back. So hopefully we'll be able to see your team there. What about you, Anna? Have you had a favorite thing that you guys have done? Activity?
Yeah. This was internal, but we did it at Discover, but it kind of bled out into the community a bit. We did a skateboard building event for an organization that helps children in foster care. So it was really cool. We all got together in this one room at Discover, and we were literally like screwing together skateboards and creating them together. And we got to decorate them and send them out. So that was really cool. Definitely something I didn't know even existed, but the kids absolutely loved them. So hoping to do more events like that.
That's awesome. So, this is a little bit more of a higher level question, but I would imagine that the ERGs play a great role in helping kind of team members bond and connect with the community. But I'm curious, what role they play in system change within the organization. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So these ERGs really help. We have such a large organization, and it really helps it to feel like a lot smaller and more connected. They can help you career-wise. For example, we have multiple internal business networking opportunities within each of the ERGs. And also personally too, as the pandemic began, a lot of them started hosting how to handle the new normal for a lot of parents. There's a lot of parent sessions on, how to work from home with your kids and everything. So it's really just a great community. And there's so many connections that you can make through that. For example, 73% of our members have made new connections through these involvements within the ERGs, which really also helps promote that internal role movement. Discover's really supportive of that, and these ERGs definitely help really make that great connection to support that movement and change. So yeah.
Well, one of the things I'm most excited about working with you all and some of our other corporate partners is that soon we will be spinning up a skills-based volunteer opportunity with TechRise founders. And so for a second, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it so that people in the audience can know, and hopefully some of your team members at Discover if they're watching. But essentially, when a founder is starting their company, they have capital needs that are often based on human resource needs, right? So they need someone to help with email marketing. They need someone to be a technical advisor to help them avoid kind of duplicating an effort or building something that already exists. They need someone who knows how to set up a sales funnel. All of these kind of like one-off tasks that are these, what we now call fractional work, I think through